and actually took over as the interim head coach toward the end of the season.
Talk a lot about Syracuse's impactful transfers. Libero Gianna Bartolo, a transfer from Denver, really impactful for Cal.
Natalie Lau to serve, and we're underway from the women's building. Goes far side, and there's Skylar George. Gets it started with a nice little finesse shot straight into the middle of the court. Syracuse up 1-0 early.
That's just a really clean set from the Orange. You saw the play develop all the way through. A really good fake from the middle. And you just work the ball outside. Let Skylar George work. She's a second on the team in kills, and for a reason. She's really solid on the outside.
Emma Ortiz sends one over. It grazes the top of the net. It's set to the middle, and a nice dig on the left side. Ortiz was there again, but Syracuse can't keep it alive. Of course, you mentioned Arnav. So many new faces this year. A lot of them have gelled really well. And today, in your final game of the season, you're playing some teams in the ACC who aren't towards the top. It's a chance to really do something. They send one over towards us. We got saved by the backboard on the basketball hoop to our left. Good sign for SU, though, up 2-1 early, and Skylar George back to serve.
Yeah, really good work there from Ava Palm. Back row attack. You kind of throw the blockers off on the Cal side and work from there, and she has all the court to work with. Found a really nice kill.
George sends one over, knuckling towards, and Zaria Harris-Wadi right in the middle, or I should say, it was Sydney Moore in the middle who sent one down. Harris-Wadi's been there so much of the season for SU. George to serve again, an early 3-1 advantage for the Cuse. Another one that grazes the net, and Cal can't handle it. Desjardins put on her back heel. Syracuse off to an early advantage. I was getting into it earlier, Arnav, but the end of this ACC schedule is really a chance for Syracuse to pick up 2 wins. 2 teams that they've played competitive this year. Of course, they beat Virginia Tech. They took Cal to 5 sets, like you mentioned. Off to the far side, left-handed swing is kept alive at the net for a moment, but it's Merton who finishes it off.
And the biggest thing for the Orange in these final 2 games, it's about the momentum that the Orange built. You see it early on, a 4-1 lead. Now it's 4-2. You have to win the next point if you're SU to try and stop Cal from regaining some momentum early on in this game.
Right, and momentum for next season as well. And not just talking about this year. If you finish the year with 2 strong wins, then next year the mindset comes in. You're going to have a lot of the same players back, most likely. There's more. She's blocked at the net. Peyton Desjardins was there with 2 arms extended. Southern California native who is playing in Northern California. More into the middle. Set backside, and it touches down. Cal picks up another point, Arnav, and you talked about Syracuse swinging that momentum. It's Cal who seized it. 3 straight points and a 4-4 match.
Yeah, great run here for Sawyer Thompson, a sophomore from Kansas. Just really confident serving, and it puts Syracuse on the back heel.
She loops one over. George goes down to one knee. Off to the far side, a powerful strike and conflicting calls. But on the line, they say that it was just out. And Cal gets another point. This early run continues. Thompson floats one, looked like it was going long. Far side. Set from the middle. Once again. Another one over top from Palm. And she can't keep it in. Syracuse scrambling a little bit all of a sudden. But we know this is going to be another competitive match. The last time these 2 teams played, it went all the way to 5 sets, swung back and forth. That's really how Syracuse has won most of its games this season outside the non-conference. Here's Ava Palm. A top spin shot. Doesn't settle down. Desjardins loops one over, but a block straight in front. Veronica Sierzant steps up and gets the momentum back for SU.
Yeah, it's really intelligent from the setter. You recognize that Cal is a little bit out of sorts after the reception on the near side, and just dump it right back over. Don't even risk, allowing your team to play it. When you see the open court, you take it.
Greta Schlichter now to serve for the Orange. In the middle, set near side, Desjardins powers one down for her first kill.
And those down line shots are going to be there for Cal. When it's one-on-one, you look down line, Ortiz wasn't positioned really perfectly there. Just found a gap. Ortiz got a touch on it, to be fair to her, but it was too powerful.
Well, that one barely gets over the net, but drops right on the other side, and a dive from Emma Ortiz wasn't enough. 8-5, the Golden Bears establishing some presence here early. They've got 7 of the last 8 points. Palm near the scorer's table. There's George in the middle, floats one over top. Far side, and another nice dig from George, but it goes over top and falls outside the line, so another point for the Golden Bears.
A really good slide there from Cal. He saw the play develop, and when you get those opportunities on the slide and you power it down, it's a really hard dig to pull up.
Had to quickly adjust. A lot of younger players on this team who have shown that they're capable of doing that. Desjardins staying active. Searzant sends it over to Palm. Into the middle, set for Desjardins. That one went long. It grazed the top of the net, changed course, and goes over to the SU bench. Syracuse gets it served back, and now a big chance for Searzant to get SU back in this first game.
Yeah, Searzant's got 14 aces on the season, just outside of the top 3 for the Orange.
She could use one here. Into the middle, set nicely by Natalie Lau. And off a deflection, it goes back toward the Golden Bears.
Yeah, that's Michaela Hayden on the slide there. And once again, she's one of the most efficient hitters. .328% on the season for her. You just got to get her the ball in those positions, and she'll do the job.
To the far side, nice dig on the near. Powered over top by Maggie Lee. Sent toward the back row, into the middle. Far side this time, it's Hayden. Set again, back and forth these two teams go. Crucial early point. That one sent way outside. Syracuse gets the point.
You saw Hayden there again on the slide. They ran that same set again. This time Syracuse able to read it and dig it up and eventually win the point on the back end.
Looked like a linebacker reading the zone coverage right there. Send to the middle, set to the near side, and just power. Maggie Lee. Looked like she barely got off the ground.
And
she's 6'3".
Reigning Pac-12 freshman of the year. That's one of the players that Syracuse really has to look out for. When she's in open court, she's dangerous, and she can really get some power behind the ball.
She played with the Chinese U20 national team, so she's got experience on bigger stages than this. Back to the middle, Desjardins sends it, and it's kept alive by Searzant. Set to that far side, and a nice dig. Good awareness from Lau. Lau again. And just put where nobody is, no man's land. Maggie Lee straight over the top. And a finesse shot. Boy, Arnov, she plays the game with a lot of power. It seems like she's almost like moving in slow motion when she's in the air. So now it's Bartolo to serve. Here's George. Sends one over top. And another kill for Cal. All of a sudden, the Golden Bears have absolutely throttled the Orange early in this set. 13-7 the advantage.
And what Syracuse did last time against Cal was the blocks. They had 17 blocks against the Golden Bears. Haven't really seen the block develop today. There's been a couple of times, but Syracuse hasn't even won those points.
Looks like those slides have been a little bit late to develop defensively. Skylar George puts it right in the back corner. There's a point for the Cuse.
You cannot ask for better placement than that for Skylar George. It's right on the white line in the back corner. Absolutely perfect from her.
And serving for the Orange, Zaria Harris, number 13.
For Cal, one more game after this, back at home in Berkeley against Notre Dame. That's the other team that Syracuse defeated this season. Powerful strike. Cal, another point. Zaria Harris-Wadi onto the court. She's been one of the most productive players. She was on for 1 point, and she went straight back off. Sydney Moore subs back in for her. And here's the serve from Lau. It's Moore who handles it initially. Sierzant sends it to the near side. Played along. Set backside by Shimau, and off a deflection, Syracuse is going to pick up the point.
And you can see the emotion there from Skylar George. You know, each point, it's a cliche, but you know, each point is so important, and that one, you know, brings the Orange back within a grasp, and now you go on a run, and all of a sudden it's a game again in this first set.
It's Emma Ortiz who starts it. Near side, and just another powerful swing. Maggie Lee looks like she's in a class of her own right now, dominating in set 1. A timeout on the court. We'll step aside as well. Facing an early 15-9 deficit, and the standout Maggie Lee back to serve for Cal. We've already seen her pick up a few kills. I'd be nervous if I was the Orange to see what that serve looks like, and it dribbles off the top of the net. Emma Ortiz sends it over for George, a deflection, and Lee's right there. Near the scorer's table, it's picked up by Merton. Ortiz calmly, Sierzant, far side, George, deflected again. Cal keeps it alive, near side, met at the net, and it goes down toward the Orange side. George, finesse shot, moves along. Back far side. Extended point here. Ava Palm went for the kill. She's too wide. 16-9 early, the Golden Bears. Winning those grinded out points, Arnav, those can be pretty crucial when you're talking about longevity and stamina, especially when SU's facing a 7-point deficit.
Yeah, and that's been the case this entire game. Syracuse, even when it's getting blocks, are still losing points that are drawn out, and that's where momentum comes as a factor for this team. You have to win those long drawn out points. It brings you some momentum, it gets you points, and Maggie Lee just, you know, hit a serve into the net. That's the one area where it's a little bit concerning for Lee. Only 22 aces on the season, 32 errors. But she's done enough on the attacking side. You can't be mad about her performance.
She's got that line drive serve. There's a block. Veronica Sierzant, her second block of the game. Both of them have been pretty flashy. That one certainly was. Skylar George now to serve. So she played at Utah last season, redshirted, so this really her freshman season. Top spin. Greta Schlichter gets right to it. That one's put right in between everyone on the Golden Bears side. Syracuse up to 12 points. It's got 2 straight.
Great work there from Moore. Once again, reading the court as she's going up and realizing that, she shouldn't really hit it hard, just tap it into the open space and make Cal make the play.
George trying to keep this run going for the Orange. Launches one over top. Played off to Desjardins. She can't get there. She pounds the floor in frustration. Seems like it's really been, we've spoke to Coach Ganesh Ratnam several times throughout the season, and it's really been a year of growth for this program, right? Little challenges throughout the year, knowing that last season you finished 2-26. This year you make a huge improvement in the non-conference, and sure, the ACC play hasn't necessarily gone the way that you'd want, 2-16 at this point, but there have been a lot of steps in the right direction. When you look at the fact that you have Ava Palm, who's, of course, going to be moving on after this season, a grad student, and then you really have Skylar George. There's an ace. You have Skylar George, who's a redshirt freshman and has played critical minutes this season, is really going to be the leader of this team next season.
Yeah, someone that is a cornerstone of the program that this program can build around. She's played excellent so far in year number 1.
Schlichter to serve. Floats one off to the near side at the back, and Desjardins there. Another block in front. Bunarovska got her right hand on top. Another player for Syracuse in her freshman season that SU can build around. We got another timeout on the floor. Syracuse storming back. The Golden Bears take a timeout. To 15 lead for Cal over top Syracuse. Set 1. And SU on a little bit of a run here, Arnolf.
Yeah, it starts with the block and the defense, and that's where Syracuse excelled the last time against Cal. And if they can get that going again, especially that front court defense, that'll be really helpful in helping the team build back into this game.
Veronica Sierzant has been the leading force of it for the Cuse. Sophomore. SU trying to win another point on a 3-0 run at the moment. Set far side for Palm. She's blocked down, but it's out, and Syracuse draws within 1.
That's the experience from Palm on that far side. She gets blocked, but gets out of the way so the ball doesn't hit her on the return to the near side, on the return to the Syracuse court. Great job there from the grad student.
Really good body control, and she was actually originally intended to play beach volleyball, a California native. Maybe that's why. You got to really contort yourself when you're playing on the sand. It's a little bit harder to maneuver around. She's been fantastic all season, obviously the leading charge offensively. Cal wins that last point, so back to a 2-point advantage, 18-16. And it's Johnson to serve. Sierzant sets it off for Palm, and she loops one straight down into the middle of the court. Back to a 1-point game in set 1. We knew it would be close. An uncharacteristic start. Syracuse to its credit, has played a lot of close matches this year. Against some high-profile teams, too. You've seen them take him to 5 sets. Did that against Virginia in the middle of the season. George, look at the awareness to tie it up. Knotted at 18 in the first set.
Yeah, once again, it's those roll shots that are working to a T for Syracuse because it leaves the libero, Gianna Bartolo, a little bit alone. She's left covering 2 zones at once, and the Orange are guessing right every single time of where Bartolo goes.
And that one is in. On the line. Down the whole time, not now. 19 to 18 in set 1. Syracuse pulling ahead. Searzant with the ace. And whistle blows. And it's a violation. Early movement from Syracuse. And Cal gets, well, it looks like we'll reserve actually. There's a lot of confusion on the floor right now.
Yeah, originally I thought they were pointing to a foot fault, which you don't usually see.
That's what I thought as well. I thought maybe on the sideline, but it looks like they're just going to reserve this one. Searzant sends it over. A nice slide to the right-hand side for Bartolo, and that one's out. Syracuse to 21st.
Yeah, the net really not helping Cal out this set. It's been a couple of chances now where Cal has an opening on the far side of the court. They hit it there, but it rolls off the top of the tape, and that momentum carries it out of bounds.
Ashley Lee onto the court for Cal. Searzant continues her run. Near side, there's Lee. A side-spinning shot was dug up by Skylar George into the middle. Set to the backside. Blocked down at the net. Cal keeps it alive. Schlichter off to her left. Into the middle. Skylar George. Back-spinning shot. Near side. Put down. It's out. Another point for the Cuse. Cal can't organize. Syracuse on a big-time run. 5-0. Another timeout for Jen Malcolm.
Yeah, Golden Bears wanted a touch there. Didn't get it. The Orange did a good job of moving out of the way. And Syracuse on a roll.
21 to 18. Syracuse rolling and on top in set 1 here on ACC Network Extra. Welcome back. 21-18 lead. Syracuse has swung it the other direction. Arnov, they've been doing a lot well, but really, it's been some bad luck for Cal as well, but Syracuse starting to organize toward the end of this first set.
Yeah, defensively, the Orange are doing a great job of A, not making mistakes. You know, the digs are going to the right places, finding Searzant, and then just developing offense from there. And B, the block has been excellent in the latter half of this set and has really propelled Syracuse to some advantages defensively, moving Cal out of rotation.
Right, and that's something that we talked about in the first 10 points of this match, how Syracuse was struggling to slide. Now they start to fix that. There's a powerful strike. Michaela Hayden slams it down. She's not worried about who's on defense, overpowering the SU block.
Yeah, they shied away from that slide a little bit in the middle of that set, and that's where Syracuse went on that run. You get Hayden back on the court. You get her developing that slide once again. It's a force to be reckoned with.
A low toss for Desjardins, blocked at the net by Cal on the Syracuse attack. Set by Lau, sent back over, and she tried to play it. She was on the other side of the court, and it got whistled immediately. That didn't mean Jen Malcolm wasn't going to point it out, though. She was still talking at the officials, saying she was way out of position there. Our referees were on top of it, though. So 22-20, Cal trying to get back into this. Malcolm had to get them reset. That one is out. And so another point for Cal. We're tied at 21.
And this front court for the Golden Bears is dangerous. You've got Lee and Hayden and Lau. I mean, 3 of their best hitters right now in rotation.
The last Cal run was also off a Desjardins serving run. And there's another one knocked down at the net. Cal gets another point. Peyton Desjardins has been a huge asset in this first set. She's brought Cal all the way back now after a big Syracuse lead.
Yeah, in Syracuse with a 5-0 scoring run. Now Cal has almost matched it with a 4-0 scoring run of its own.
Right back to where we were before. It's George who makes first contact on the back line, and Harris Waddy off of a deflection gets the point for the Cuse. And we're tied at 22, down to the wire. This is how we expected it to go after a 5-setter back in Berkeley earlier this season. Palm to serve. Knuckling. Set by Lau. Harris Waddy in front. Near side, blocked down, out of bounds. The Cuse have the lead again.
And it all starts with that serve from Ava Palm. Little floater that just dies right at the feet in the Cal middle court, and Cal just has to respond after that. It's a free play for Syracuse, and the Orange take advantage.
Ava Palm goes right back to it. Lau moves forward. There's Lee. Harris Waddy punches one over top. Set in front. Lee again, blocked down. But not enough. Another Cal point. We're tied at 23.
And if you're Harris Waddy there, you can't get down on yourself. You make the block. It's just the bounce that goes into the net and back off of her. You're so close to getting that solo block on the other side of the court.
Just a miscommunication there. Syracuse can't set up the offense, but a crucial point. Cal now within 1. And with match point on the line, we'll keep it here. 24-23, Cal in advantage. Syracuse's offense has been really good with Zaria Harris Waddy on the court. And you mentioned that block she just tried. Can't get down on yourself, like you said. It was just an unlucky bounce. Syracuse had the advantage. They clawed all the way back in this first set, but now it's Cal who has SU on its back foot.
Yeah, and Gianna Bartolo's serving is not where you want to be if you're Syracuse. This is one of the most experienced players, not just on this Cal team, in all of college volleyball. 3 years at Denver. She was excellent there as a libero and a really good server. This year, the numbers have dropped a little bit for her. She's only got now 21 aces on the year, but still a really dangerous player and really experienced to know where to put the ball in these types of situations.
Right. No pressure getting to her, that's for sure. She's experienced, like you mentioned, a grad student playing out her final year of eligibility. We're seeing the end now, a lot of these COVID years where players can play that extra season, and it's almost become part of the norm. That's actually going to go away all of a sudden. You're not going to have grad students transferring around at their 3rd or 4th school as much. Yeah. Especially in Olympic sports like volleyball.
And it really helps the incoming freshmen and the future recruiting classes as well to know that, hey, there's going to be more roster spots, more players that are, instead of 5 years and out, it's 4 and out, more roster spots opening for the incoming players.
Yeah, really a complete change in the landscape of college athletics over the last few seasons. Starting to return more and more to some normalcy. Like you mentioned, Gianna Bartolo back to serve with set 1 on the line. Sends one over top, into the middle, set by Sierzan. And there's Skylar George, 24-24. It's gonna take extra in set 1 to determine a winner, and Zaria Harris Waddy to serve for the first time.
And how about the redshirt freshman? First set, 23-24, match point for the opponent. You get your number called and you deliver. That's a big moment there for George.
George has really delivered all season in big moments. Harris Waddy Dug by Lee, she goes right back to it. Top spin shot, blocked at the net, and it goes down. Cal, the first to 25, they're gonna need one more, at least.
You can see how much Syracuse respects Lee's hitting ability, that they're sending 2 blockers up. When Lee goes to dump or plays it soft, then Syracuse is left scrambling at the back.
That's what she opens up with all that power. Searzant in the middle of the court. There's Skylar George. 2 players come together, almost a miscommunication. Lee, a great dig by Shimow on the far side, and George is fired up. We're going the distance and then some in set 1. What an opening set between these 2 ACC squads.
Can't ask for better volleyball early in a match to go the extra distance.
Emma Ortiz. Lee gets the initial contact, and then it's Sydney Moore who hammers it into the net.
Yeah, that's one you want to have back if you're Sydney Moore, and she's got experience. A grad student transfer from Cornell. She'll get over that one, but in the moment, it's got to feel bad.
And now Maggie Lee to serve for the game. Kept inside, blocked at the net. There's Moore. Far side, and a nice dig. One more touch. No. Cal takes set 1, 27-25. Back and forth, these 2 squads went. But it's the Golden Bears who come. Syracuse coming back to the 3-1-5 after a trip to Brooklyn. Skylar George has undoubtedly been the best player on the floor for the Cuse. She starts the second set with a serve. She's looking for that far corner. In the middle, powerful strike from Sawyer Thompson. Another kill for her, her 4th of the afternoon. Day away from Thanksgiving. Exciting mood on campus. Not a lot of students here, but a great crowd. Plenty of locals showing up and supporting the Orange. Nikolnikova finesses one over, and then one drops back in front of Emma Ortiz. And so the Golden Bears, if you go back to last set, 4 straight points.
We talk so much about Maggie Lee and Michaela Hayden that you kind of forget that Sawyer Thompson's right up there with them in terms of hitting. She's at 429 in this game, a really excellent hit all throughout this season.
Near side, Ava Palm, and I don't think that one got a touch. Yeah, she just skies it off the pack wall, uncharacteristic. Palm's looking a little bit out of sorts today. She's up to 5 errors now on the attack.
Yeah, and she wanted a touch as soon as he came down, but I think the referee's right there. It looked like it just went wayward.
Now, it looks like the officials are going over to maybe review the call. We don't have all the camera angles that we would normally have access to, but they do have cameras at the net. Those are active, at least on the far side, although it doesn't look like there's a camera set up on the near side where the strike happened. So this is going to be pretty tough for them to change this at all, I would think. I just don't think the angle is there.
Yeah, I was going to say, once again, it's got to be clear and obvious and indisputable video evidence for it to be overturned. And because the call was made as an Ava Palm error, I think this is a really hard one to overturn if that's your only camera angle, is looking down the line from the other side of the court.
We don't have any camera angles here available to us in the booth, so we're going off pure intuition. It looked like she just sent it long, maybe off the top of her fingertips, just didn't quite contact it the way that she wanted to.
Yeah, and it hasn't been the best of starts for Ava Palm, but once again, a grad student in situations like this where you struggle in a game, she's been there before and can improve throughout the game. But for the Orange, going down 3-0 early in this second set is something that they should not be afraid of, because they've made a couple of good runs in that first set. You know you can do it again. You know this is a Cal team that you have taken to the brink already in this game and in a different match. So a lot of good things for the Orange that you can't really hang your head early on in set number 2.
Oh, and Ava Palm has been the best player for Syracuse this year for much of the season. So certainly, I don't think it'll be too difficult for her to regain her confidence if she gets going a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, a player who leads the team in both kills and digs. She's just a true 6 rotation player, can play everywhere on the court, and is really excellent for the Orange everywhere she goes.
It's been a great addition. And looks like we've got an announcement. A call stands on the court. Stands means there was not sufficient evidence to overturn it. And with our one camera angle and looking like there's no camera up there on the net to take a look at it, I don't think there was really much of an option, but Coach Bake tries it anyway, looking for maybe some type of result. He doesn't get it. And now Syracuse has to regroup, down 3-0 in the second set. Maggie Lee to serve. Goes a little bit higher with it that time. And Nikolnikova is blocked down on the far side.
The Orange is trying to run that slide again. It's the exact same set that Cal runs. You get the ball to your setter, you let the outside hitter take it on a slide. That time Nikolnikova just got to it a little bit late, and Cal was in the right position.
Lee again launches one into the net. She's got that low liner serve, and it can be a little bit dangerous. We saw a couple tick off of the ribbon earlier, and this time she sends it straight into the net. So back to Syracuse to serve, a 4-1 advantage for the Golden Bears. Greta Schlichter trying to get it going for SU. Initial attack works out. Syracuse had the dig but couldn't get it back up. It's a kill for Ava Murden.
Yeah, Haraswati just was not aware of where that ball was as Schlichter dug it up, and then it just ticked off her knuckles and went right into the ground.
Sawyer Thompson now for Cal. You can see George shouting out instructions to the rest of the Syracuse offense, and a block at the net. That's a point for the Cuse, and a much needed one at that. Ava Palm answers the bell. Zaria Harris-Waddy over there as well.
The first point that Syracuse has won in the run of play, the first point they scored was off of an error. So now you score a point in the run of play. What can you build off of it for the Orange?
Veronica Searzant actually started that run that got Syracuse back into that first set. There's Desjardins, and she just overpowers the SU block.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great hit there from Desjardins. She split the two blockers, so one blocker left a little bit too much space. Whether it was the middle or the outside, can't really tell, but there's just enough of a gap for her to find the ball in between the two hands.
Some really active coaching. Another point. George couldn't get over to it for Jen Malcolm. She's essentially on the line pretty much the entire point, just shouting out instructions, and she's been very vocal throughout this game. Into the middle, set near side, there's Palm. Tried to finesse it toward the back line, but Lee was there to answer the bell, and Cal just comes right back. Syracuse has shown its ability to fight back in these sets, but right now, the Golden Bears are all over the Orange.
3-0 run for the visiting side, and once again, who else but Michaela Hayden on the slide? They just continue to find her in these positions and take advantage.
Ava Palm trying to finish it off. Not that time, another errant hit. Seems like she's struggling for that feel a little bit right now. Hasn't been able to find the back line like SU fans have seen her do all season long.
Yeah, 3 kills, 6 errors right now for Ava Palm, and that's someone that Syracuse has to rely on in the offensive side of the ball, and when she's not clicking, this team isn't clicking. Exactly.
If you don't have the power and the points that Ava Palm can generate for this team, it's no secret that they've struggled in ACC play. If you lose Ava Palm's production, then it's going to be pretty tough for Syracuse to come away with a win today. She's got a chance to get some momentum back from this serve, though. Blocked at the net. George keeps it alive. Harris-Waddy goes up. It's off the left hand. And down on the Cal side, Syracuse wins the point. Sarah Waszynkowska into the game. And she kept that point alive and gets SU back on the board. A couple of different lineups now for Coach Bake, trying to mix and match things. Palm to serve again. In the middle, set off to the left side, and Hayden gets another one for Cal. So Syracuse gets one, Cal gets it right back. It's not going to be a winning formula. SU needs a run.
Yeah, you see Hayden on the slide. That one's set up a little bit differently. Lowe can fake to the outside hitter before going to Hayden, but once again, you get her on the slide, she's great.
Blocked at the net, and another nice awareness play from Waszychowska. And then Syracuse just completely loses communication, and an easy offensive attack for Cal. Jen Malcolm was wondering if that wasn't a double hit, and she's still saying that, and now a timeout for Syracuse.
Yeah.
It's a really bad start to the second set, Arnav, for SU.
Yeah, 10-4 is not where you want to be if you're the Orange right now. After going the distance and then some in the last set to be down by 7 early on. But I'm right there with Jen Malcolm. I thought that was a double hit, too. It looked like it went right off the net and back, but I'm wondering maybe if it went through the net enough to touch a Cal player. You know, either way, Cal wins the point. Michaela Hayden, 8 kills, 0 errors right now, hitting .667. Someone you have to stop if you're the Orange.
Well, Syracuse as well in that situation. You get a break, not getting that call, and then frozen, it seems like, on the next attack. Can't really get anything going, and Cal just picks up an easy point. No one in the middle of the court, and Cal doesn't really even have to set up an attack. It's almost like looked like it was a practice point. So it's the Golden Bears with an 11-4 advantage, and up with one set played, and in this second set, Syracuse is scrambling. Coach Bake trying to organize his group.
Yeah, 10 hitting errors right now for the Orange. 6 of them have came from Ava Palm. Sydney Moore's got 2. Annie Nicole Nikova also has 2, but right now, you know, you have to get Palm going eventually, and you know, you're not going to take her off the court because of how good she is in the backcourt in addition to her hitting. You can't take her off the court. You just got to hope that eventually things start clicking for Ava Palm and the rest of this Orange offense.
And Skylar George was trying to fire up the bench there in that huddle. She was patting her teammates on the back, kind of raising her arms, saying, let's go, let's get it going here. She's been fantastic. 7 kills, no errors for her. She leads SU in attacks. Emma Ortiz sends one off to Harris Waddy. A great dig moving across. Maggie Lee, powerful top spin shot, but it goes long. There's a point for the Cuse, maybe just what it needs. We'll see if Zaria Harris Waddy can get SU on a run. That one would have been close to the line if they'd let it go. Searsant, George. Goes long. Killer for the Cuse. She was errorless until now.
And that one wasn't too far off.
No, close point.
Just missing that back line, and once again, it's the right idea from George, just couldn't find the execution. Right now, that's in the story of the set for the Orange.
A good strike, but not the finish. Here's George again. And just long again.
Almost the same situation. If she hit that last shot this time, it would have been perfect because she hit that one a little bit further back. But I think George trying to overcompensate for her position on the court, trying to hit the same shot. That one goes long again.
Powerful strike for George. They go back to her again. That time she goes for finesse and it works out. She wasn't even going to let the third time is the charm. She wasn't going to test that theory.
That's a good setup from George as well. You go long twice in a row, and as soon as your number's called again, and you get 2 blockers on you, and you eventually play that finesse shot. But you set it up with those 2 long shots.
Set in the middle. Bounced around back toward the net where it's picked up by Thompson. Lee's strike is off the light in the ceiling, and diving to her right is Skylar George, but she can't keep it alive. A last gasp effort. Skylar George had to compensate for the fact that that ball hit one of the lights here on the ceiling, completely changed direction. She got to it with her right fist. But Cal almost struggling not to score right now. 14-6. In the middle, George moves it into a block. Cal sets up the offense. Lee goes over top, and it touches down. Another point for Cal. head official mistakenly gesturing toward the Syracuse side there, but they corrected on the scoreboard. Natalie Lau to serve again. Set in the middle by Mira Liedermuller, who hasn't played yet in this game, just came in for the last point. Another point for Cal. They are stomping all over the Orange at the moment. 16-6, a double-digit advantage. Syracuse simply being outclassed right now.
Yeah, and the Orange only have one timeout left in this set, so got to just kind of roll with the punches here if you're the Orange.
Ortiz on the near side, back to the middle for George, and blocked straight down.
That was Ava Palm there, a back row attack, and once again just hasn't been able to get things clicking so far in this one. It's a great setup, but great job by the Cal middle blockers to read the attack and find the right timing. Usually when you go back row, a lot of the middles will struggle to time their blocks correctly. Cal did a perfect job there.
This time it's Skylar George. She floats one over to the near side. Back to Maggie Lee, into a block. There's some tenacious defense from Syracuse. It's been searching for still a 17-7 advantage.
That's Mira Liedermuller, like you said, just on the court recently alongside Anastasia Nikolnikova. 6'1" and 6'4". You got some height there on the right side, and the block doing a great job.
George off the end of her fingertips. Back to Lee on the far side. It's kept alive by Ortiz, then George, and on to Palm. She guides it over in the middle, stuffed by Nikolnikova. Right back over top, kept up by Ortiz. One more chance and no. 18-7. Coach Bake is searching for answers right now. That was a good defensive set from the Cuse, but couldn't set up the offense. They've had to play out of system a lot.
Similar story to the first set. You have longer points. Cal seems to be winning all of them and has been winning all of them in this set.
There's the third service error from Maggie Lee. You talked about it being kind of the one thing with her game that hasn't quite developed. It's hurt her today, but she's been awfully effective on the offensive side of the ball, and it hasn't really mattered because Cal has a 10-point lead. Schlichter to serve. Puts it in the back corner, but it's kept alive nicely by Bartolo. Bartolo again. Sets it from the middle. Strike over the top by Merton. Blocked from Ava Palm. Her attack on the near side. She just continues to get the rough side of things today. Merton was there on the block.
Yeah, redshirt junior from Alamo, California. Once again, one-on-one there with Palm, and right now everything falling the way of Cal when it comes to Ava Palm's offense.
Sydney Waller onto the court for the Cuse, the sophomore who had a career-high 16 kills versus Cal earlier this season. And she mishits the first ball set for her. And this set all but over at this point, really. Cal has just looked dominant in set two.
Yeah, it would take nothing short of a miracle here for Coach Beek and this Syracuse squad. But right now, Cal is just clicking offensively and defensively.
Into the middle, a nice little finesse shot behind the back for Mira Liedermuller. That was pretty cool. She just went behind her right shoulder. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. And that's what it's taking right now for Syracuse to pick up points. Veronica Sierzant has been the best server for Syracuse. See if she can grab some points for the Orange right now and get them into double digits. Blocked down at the net. Off to the other side where it's picked up nicely by Merton. Sent over by Waller. Set in the middle, and a powerful strike goes right down for Michaela Hayden. She's got a team-leading 9 kills.
Yeah, this is one of the most complete games from Hayden that we've really seen all season long. Talk about 8 kills and no errors, and we're almost done with the second set. This is just excellence right now from Hayden.
And right now, it looks like it only might take 3 sets for Cal if they keep playing the way they are at the moment. Far side, picked up the set. Waller, her strike is knocked down, and here's Lee. Finesse shot kept alive by Schlichter. In the middle, Harris Waddy gets the point for the Cuse.
And really the first time in this entire set that we've seen a long, drawn-out point go to the Orange. Now a little bit of confusion as they get the ball back.
Yeah, they're subbing Ava Palm back on the court. Waller is off. She plays a couple points, but now it's Ava Palm to serve. And they're trying to get Palm some time on the bench to just get her mind right, maybe. Real rough go of things here today. She sends it over to Lee. On the far side, there's Hayden. They gotta have her circled on the play sheet right now. There's a block at the net. Washakovska had her hand over top, got it with the right palm. And Ava Palm now back to serve.
You also bring her in, you know, you take her off the offensive side, but Waller's only got one service ace this year, so you bring in a lot stronger of a server in Palm.
She goes right back to the same spot, and then mishit by Hayden on the far side. There's that first error on the game. 21-12. Syracuse still a long way to climb back, down by 9. But Ava Palm has a little bit of a run going. 3-0 for the Cuse. Continues to go right back to Lee, trying to attack that early, and Syracuse just a miscommunication off of a block. That ball got caught up in someone's arms.
Yeah, it was Washakovska there right now on the far side of the court. Got a good hand to it, but it just kind of got stuck in between her two arms.
Syracuse can't avoid anything of a Cal run, and that's a start. A ball that goes long from Desjardins. Syracuse gets the serve back, Zaria Harris-Waddy. There's Hayden. Knocked down on the near side. Cal has to scramble. Syracuse starting to get things going late in the second set.
And even if the Orange don't get it done here, what this does is it builds confidence. You know now you've got a couple of points. You've been able to stop Hayden on the slide, which has really been Cal's go-to move right now. You've been able to dig her a couple of times. You can build some confidence heading into set 3.
Harris-Waddy over top. In the middle, it's kept alive by Lau. And slammed down straight in front of Harris-Waddy. Cal just 2 points away now. Gianna Bartolo. The grad student back to serve. Trying to close out set 2 for the Golden Bears. Maggie Lee's right there. Now she goes up for a strike off a deflection. Cal is 1 point away. A dominant set for the Golden Bears. And a chance to close it out right here.
I mean, just how impressive has this Cal offensive unit been? As the Orange call a timeout, I mean,
with you on ACC Network Extra. And with set 2 on the line, it's Gianna Bartolo to serve. She goes short. So Syracuse has a chance. Down 9. Miralita Mueller back onto the court. Emma Ortiz to serve. Another impactful freshman this year. Sends one straight into the middle of the court. Here's Lee. She's done it all game so far. Skylar George kept alive off the left hand. It's Lee again, off a block, down. Cal wins it. Up 2 sets to nothing. 25-15, they dominate a double-digit win in set 2. We'll step aside. When we come back, we've got set 3 here for you.
Right now, Cal is a team hitting .241.
It's been really good for the Golden Bears. They started off with a serve from Natalie Lau. Sent into the middle of the court, blocked at the net, it drops down. Cal gets the first point. Right back where they left off. Nothing has been able to slow down the Golden Bears today.
And now 11 kills on the afternoon for Maggie Lee. Only 3 errors.
Into the middle. Somehow kept alive by Cal. They can't get it back over. And it was initially sent over by Sydney Moore.
Already the Orange off to a better start than set 2. So nothing to complain about there in the first 2 points for SU. Now you got to build on it.
Knotted at 1, Schlichter to serve. Loops one over top. Set in the middle of the court and blocked at the net. Oh, they say it got a touch on the way through, though, and it's a Cal point.
Yeah, once again, the block has been there, but it just hasn't been executed. The block is there, but the ball, again, rolls on the wrong side of the net. The Orange just need a little bit more power.
Miscommunication, out of system play. Harris Waddy has to go in the middle. Barely keeps it alive. And Syracuse just working chaotically right there. Can't really ever settle it down. And it's another Cal point, 3-1. Maggie Lee back to serve again. George sets it up. Powerful strike, rolls off the top of the net. It was Washakovska with the kill for the Cuse.
Yeah, Washakovska, 115 kills on the season. Has not been too much of a factor today, but really, if they can get her going in the third set, especially with Palm not being at her best today, it's really important.
There's Ashley Naw onto the court for the first time. Freshman libero. She's getting some playing time, maybe the final time. Well, certainly the final time, but maybe the final set that a lot of these Syracuse players get to play at SU this season. Cal offense is rolling, a 4-3 lead. And there have been little Syracuse runs, Arnav, but every single time Cal's answered them with a bigger run.
Yeah, it's a punch-counter-punch sort of mentality right now. Cal is okay with giving up a run because they know they have the offensive power to get it back.
Skylar George, been the best player for Syracuse today. And that one goes long. Close call, right near the back line. The officials favor the Cuse.
Yeah, I think that's what...
And I think our ball boys thought that it was a Cal point as well because Skylar George has to call extra loud to get a ball over there on the far side. The strike from Desjardins is kept alive. Syracuse just scrambling, and 3 touches. It dies. Cal back in the lead.
Yeah, that ball just kind of died on Ashley Naw's hands. She was trying to get it to the middle to Searzant, and it just, all the momentum just got taken out of it when it hit her.
Here's a serve from Johnson. Sliding effort from Naw. Powerful attack. by Harris Waddy. They ran into one of the ropes on the side. Now there's a strike from Palm. It's kept alive again. Lee sends it back over. Set up Palm. Goes long. Off of deflection. Oh no, they say it's Cal point. Syracuse was celebrating. Palm thought it got a touch. She fooled me. She had her hands up, screaming, but no. They say it just went long. No touch. 6-4 Cal. Sometimes if you can sell it, you can convince that far side ref, but it didn't work that time for Palm. Harris Waddy touches one over, and a ball in the middle. Two players converge on it. Schlichter and Nah, you see the defensive instincts from both of them. So a 3-point lead for Cal. Another serve over from Johnson. In the middle, Harris Waddy. Cal's defense has been outstanding today. Another great play. Set up for George, and she can't get it over top. The right idea, trying to go where there was no one. A little bit of space, tucked inside the near side, close to the net.
Yeah, George had more space than I think she thought she did. She tried to play it right on that near side corner. She could have gone down line a little bit more.
Harris Waddy sends one over, set up for Cal now. A strike from Hayden. First time we've called her name in the third set. That one touches down inside the line this time, and Syracuse draws it back to a 3-point deficit.
Well, if there's one thing you could really use in set number 3, it's Ava Palm to get going offensively. 4th kill of the night, the afternoon, I should say, with 9 errors.
And between these two teams who played a game that went all the way to 5 sets last time, you can see what kind of impact not having Ava Palm at 100% can really have. Syracuse women's ice hockey in attendance here today. Got the whole team on the far side in the stands. They're showing out. There's another point for Cal, up to a 10-5 lead, and that Golden Bear offense has just picked right back up where it left off. It's really been the same story all day. Syracuse has not found the answers.
And right now in this third set, Cal is hitting .462. A chance to make it 500 right here.
Palm moves it on, blocked, stymied at the net. Sydney Moore went up for the strike, and there was a brick wall in front of her. Oh, look at the Cal bench celebrating emphatically.
Yeah, Maggie Lee and Michaela Hayden just got the job done there.
No answer right now for the Orange. And Arnav, if things continue like this, it looks like Cal's going to steamroll its way to a 3-set win. A dominant victory at that if they can hold on over Syracuse.
Yeah, after that first set, I mean, what a great set between these two teams. But since then, Cal, I don't know if it's been a change offensively or something that has really clicked for this Golden Bears offense.
Lee's strike goes long, bounced straight at the feet of one of our line officials. So Cal doubling up Syracuse at the moment, 12-6, but the Orange have serve. Searsant loops one over, down line on the near side. Lee's powerful strike bounces up toward the ceiling. George in the middle of the court. She has to adjust herself to the left. Hayden off a tip. Schlichter moves on for Palm, and she just hasn't had it going today.
Yeah, that's a 10th error now for Ava Palm, hitting -250. Just something that hasn't worked right now for the Orange to turn to her on the offense.
And it's something that hasn't happened this season. It's been a very rare occasion to not see her not only not on, but not dominating. Near side, straight through a block. That's how powerful Maggie Lee can be.
Yeah, it's just fun to watch Maggie Lee when she gets in those positions in rotation, in set, and find some space between a block. It's some really great work, really great offensive work there from Cal.
I can't get over how it looks like she's barely jumping. Generates so much power from barely being off the ground. There's a point for the Cuse. Washakovska with the kill.
There is one place that Ava Palm can really affect this game right now. It's at the service line and in the back row. We'll see if she can do some work here.
Nice little finesse shot straight in front from the setter, Lau. Lau's been ultra consistent today. Syracuse calls a timeout, searching for answers that it hasn't had all afternoon. 15. Offensively, that first set was really close, so we thought we were in for maybe another 5-setter, 27-25, and of course that's not out of the question just yet. Syracuse maybe out of this timeout can get something going, but Arnav, they are running out of time.
Yeah, running out of time and right now running out of options. I mean, the amount of different lineups that Coach Beek has thrown right now towards Cal to try and stop this offensive of Maggie Lee, Michaela Hayden, and Sawyer Thompson. I mean, they've really thrown all their cards, and now it's about seeing which ones land for the Orange.
They've done everything they can to adjust. It's just about the results coming together. Cal sets up the offense. Schlichter off to her left nicely to save that ball. Down line and kept alive. Here's Lau again. Lee into the middle of the court. George can't get there. She got her right fist on it, but couldn't get it up. 16-7 here in set 3.
Maggie Lee already with a double-double today. 13 kills, 10 digs. Just pure excellence right now.
Launches one up. A block on the near side and a sliding attempt right next to the official's ladder. Took some guts to go down right there. Gianna Bartolo. Syracuse wins the point off of a deflection. And Schlichter back to serve. Bounces one over top. Set in the middle. Dropped to the back line. And Palm was moving to her left. Not fast enough. 17-8. Cal once again almost back to that 10-point lead that it had for a lot of the second set. And since we've seen the end of that first, it's just been pure domination. It makes you wonder, would things have gone differently if Syracuse could have pulled that out? They were 1 point away at one point. Skylar George's hit goes too long. 18-8. So most likely Cal will improve to 14-17 on the season and 6-13 in the ACC. It's been a tough year for them in their first year over, but of course with a first-year head coach as well. Struggled in the Pac-12 last year, but undefeated in non-conference play, similar to Syracuse.
So you look at the building blocks for this Cal team and how many sophomores and juniors that are going to come back and have another year with the Golden Bears. I mean, Maggie Lee's a sophomore, Michaela Hayden's a junior, Natalie Lowe's a junior. You're really losing Gianna Bartolo, who's your libero and one of the best in the ACC at what she does. But other than that, you look up and down this lineup, you have a lot of stars.
Back to serve for Cal. Six points away from a sweep of the Cuse. George down to get it. Harris Waddy in the middle, sends one over top. Lau kept it on. It bounces on the net and falls out. Cal gets another point, and if that doesn't epitomize what Syracuse is going through today, Arnav, I don't know what does. Yeah. Everything has fallen Cal's way.
Yeah, just the way the ball rolls right now is not working out for the Orange. But also great awareness from Peyton Desjardins to know where she's at on the court and just let that ball roll off the tape and roll out, because any other player might play that.
George goes into the middle. Some more good defense from Cal, and that one drops down on the Syracuse side. 4 points away, and Jen Malcolm is celebrating with her team. A chest bump with Sophia Johnson on the sideline. Good spirits throughout that entire timeout. You may have seen in the right side of your screen, Cal was just dancing. They didn't even talk.
No need to talk when your offense is playing as well as it is for Cal right now.
This might be the best they've played all season. Another deflection, another point, 22-8. This third set is the most dominant of all, and certainly didn't think we'd be saying that after a 10-point victory for the Golden Bears in set number 2. But Cal, after a 5-set win against Syracuse earlier in the season, has come in today and cemented its dominance over this SU squad. And one more game on the season for Syracuse against Virginia Tech. Blocked at the net. From start to finish, it's been all Golden Bears in set 3.
If Syracuse wanted a chance in this game, it was going to have to come on the defensive block side, but right now both teams with 7 blocks on the game, the Orange just couldn't get things done defensively.
And Syracuse looks pretty demoralized at the moment. It would be hard not to. Skylar George, though, still giving it everything. Lee in the middle, 1 point away for Cal. Business-like mentality from the Golden Bears. Get in and get out.
That's Fiona Rigby back there for the Orange, just her second set appearance this season.
Into the middle. And Cal thinks it's won. It has. A little bit of confusion. Syracuse thought it wasn't over. It is. 25-8, the final set score. Cal absolutely rolls its way to an ACC win in less than an hour and a half. 27-25, 25-15, and 25-8. The Golden Bears sweep the Cuse in Syracuse in the final game at home for Syracuse in 2024.
And who else to end it but Maggie Lee? 15 kills, only 4 errors on the night, and closes it out with a service ace. The Orange to another very winnable game against Notre Dame.
It certainly is. One of the 2 teams Syracuse took down this season. The Orange going to play one of the teams it took down this season as well. Its final game of the year.